Hey guys, it's TF Nut. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review. This is going to be of the brand new Marvel Legends series Black Panther Wakanda Forever version of Black Panther, released a little bit after the initial Wakanda Forever wave of Marvel Legends. Two things before we start. One, got my laptop replaced, so now I'm back to reviews on my DSLR. Hopefully the lighting will be consistent in these reviews, because when I was shooting on my phone, it changed up a lot for some reason. And two, you're going to be seeing a pretty good number of reviews on the channel in the next week or two, because I have a lot to review before the end of the year, and I want to put some stuff on the top 10 list and sort that out properly. What I'm probably going to change about the reviews permanently is that I do want to just show off the packaging instead of doing photos like I usually do. We do have Black Panther on the top right there, and you do see the character in the background. You also have the figure in the foreground. Really nice design on the box here. It does say Marvel Studios as well as Black Panther Wakanda Forever. You do have warning, choking hazard, plastic free packaging, as well as the Hasbro logo. On this side here, as you can see, it just says Legend Series. You do have the figure right there, just standing in a neutral pose. On this side, another concept image of the character right there. Some more of the detailing of the box right there, as well as it says Marvel Legends Series. On the top, it has the Black Panther logo. You also have Marvel Legends Series there, ages 4 and up. On the back here, let me pan up a little bit. As you can see, it just says Black Panther right here. You have Marvel Legends Series again, the accessories, the figure right there, and then you do have a bunch of multilingual warnings right there. And then I do have, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I have the barcode in case you need it. Let me turn on the brightness a little bit. So there you go. We'll probably screenshot that, and then that's just the bottom. It just says plastic free packaging again. Let's go ahead and get this figure out of the packaging. Here is the figure out of the packaging, and there are some really good things about this figure. I don't think it's bad. It's just that there's some things about it that I know is going to be on pretty much everyone's figure that also I think Hasbro dropped the ball on just a little bit. But overall, not a bad figure, like I said. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories, then we'll take a closer look at the figure. So the figure comes packaged with a fist as well as an open clawed hand. So we get the opposing hands here. Look at the back of the hands. I don't know what this would be called towards the knuckles, but that looks really good. There's some pretty good texturing of the lines on the back of the hands. And then the palms too. It looks a little bit soft in the sculpt, especially on the, you can see it better on the right hand's palm. But they did attempt some detailing in there. We also have nails, or I should say claws, on the fingers and that one. And then you see around the thumb, really nice gold paint, nice metallic paint there. Not much to complain about there. So that's all this figure comes with, unfortunately. Now this is going to be a spoiler for the movie. If you haven't seen it yet, I do advise you clicking off if you don't want to be spoiled. But these things from the Marvel Legends Shuri that was re-released recently, it came out in 2019, I think, the Smart Hulk wave, these do work, because they clip in like that, and these wrists are just as thin as the previous Shuri figure, and they clip in there like that. As you could see, the molded plastic here is going to be a little bit brighter than this black molded plastic, so if you want, you could probably paint this to look a little bit darker. I predict in the future that we are going to get a Namor and Black Panther Shuri 2-pack where she has correct color Panther gauntlets and maybe an unmasked head. And I don't know what they would do different with Namor, but that's what that other one looks like in there. Back it up a little bit, I guess. So yeah, again, they didn't include these because I don't think they wanted to exactly spoil what was going on with the figure here, or the character I should say. But these do work if you want to repaint these and make these extra accessories. Speaking of what could be extra accessories, I popped on the Shuri's previous figure, that head onto this body, and in person it looks like the neck is a little too long. You may want to Dremel out a little bit of space going into the head here if you want to plant that on there. The hair here is not her hairstyle when she wears when she's in her suit in the film, I should say. But if you wanted to use this head sculpt as a base, like if you wanted to cast this and maybe adjust the hair, you definitely could. Again, you may want to do some additional space there. So that does work for that, I think. Popping this head back on here, I think that the overall detailing is really nice in the overall figure. I said overall twice, that's redundant. pretty great patterning all throughout just the face and the head, like this line patterning going all the way around here. It really looks good. We do have some really clean silver and gold paint apps throughout the face too. And I don't want to mess up exactly what her markings would be called in the film, but they replicated that, you know, her forehead has her markings. They replicated that on her helmet here. And they do have some pretty clean silver, a little bit mismatched in some areas, as you can see. It's going on to the black a little bit, but you have to look really hard in person to see that. Like right now, I'm like a good 3 feet away looking at this, and I am not having the easiest time seeing that bump. But in the camera's viewfinder, of course I'm going to. The way that they have sculpted these ears, all that is really clean. The eyes have really nice silver paint in there. They even have a little bit of gold on the back of the head and some more continued patterning for that sculpt. That is all that looking really great, I think. One thing I do want to mention, this was my biggest complaint about the figure. They do this a lot with the MCU figures. I have a good feeling there should definitely be some more paint apps on the back here, and there just isn't. Like these bumps, whatever these are supposed to be, these different markings, it looks like they're supposed to be paint, like some silver and gold in here, and they just stopped. They only focused on the front and the sides with the arms and the head sculpt, of course. Like the head sculpt is pretty much almost all the way painted. You know, they do have some silver on the neck here, so I can give them credit there. But the rest of this, I have a feeling, and there's a little bit of gold there too. I have a feeling, if I'm wrong, and if there's images of the concept art where this is all just black, then yeah, I'll shut up. But I have a feeling there should be a little bit better paint in the back here, though. Again, yeah, they do have a little bit of paint on the back of the legs, so that's good. We do have some gold on this side here. Just wanted to see if it was symmetrical, and it is. It's a little bit, if I zoom in a little bit, it looks like a little bit of black bleeding. It's really the gold isn't painted all the way on there, but it's not that noticeable. You gotta look really hard to see. I just noticed it just now. The rest of this gold towards the shoulders and a little bit on the bicep, all that looks great. On the chest too, with the silver and the gold, they've continued that patterning. I know this is how it's supposed to be on the suit, but it does. What's interesting to me is it kind of looks like when you're 3D printing something, it kind of looks like it gives it that effect. I think that's cool. We do have, I already mentioned this, some more gold right there. There's not that much gold on the biceps on either side. Again, I don't know what's going on here. Should there be paint there? I'm not entirely sure. We do have pinless tech, as you can see, for a lot of figures now, especially with pretty much every MCU figure that isn't like a 2019 reuse or anything. Like I think Everett Ross, the re-released Everett Ross, has pins still. Looks like they have, I didn't notice this, looks like a detailing of a panther's head right there, so that's cool. And we do have some gold right there. And then with these hands that she comes packaged with, again, really good gold there. Same thing on this palm. Looks like the detailing of the pattern is a little bit soft, but they do have some pretty good paint right there. Here's the rest of that forearm. I think I already mentioned the stomach area. Really great gold paint. I really dig that. It's even continued on the sides and around the hips. Now we get down to the legs. Great patterning again with how the suit details have been coming out and all that. Some nice lines, a few bumps. I'm not entirely sure what these are supposed to be again. We do have pretty nice silver paint. That breaks up, of course, when you move it, but that's to be expected. We get down to the thighs. Some nice gold. Lots of nice lines going on in the patterning and the details there. I think all that looks really nice. That's what the inside of the thigh looks like right there. They have the serial printing right there, which could, I wish they put it on the feet, but it's not that distracting. I don't think, at least. Then we get down to the knees. They even have some detailing on the knees there. One thing I forgot to mention is that with a lot of pinless tech figures lately, you know, there's like mismatched plastic with the elbow compared to the rest of the arms. But here, looks like it's not the case, since it's just the same color black molded in this color here. Same thing going on here. They did a really good job matching those colors. Same thing here. It doesn't look like the knee color is mismatched from the thigh or the shins, the calves I should say. And again, we got pinless tech there. That's what that side of the pinless tech looks like. Get down to the calves. You can see a little bit of detailing, you know, right around here. That's actually protruding details. Pretty much anywhere that has gold on there is really nicely detailed as well. And the paint is pretty clean. A little bit of gold going onto the black there, but looking again, there's not much going on there in terms of paint imperfection. So that's good. Getting down to the ankles, some nice line work. Now we look towards the top of the feet, which again have that line patterning, and then that has a little bit of what would be like claws, I guess, on the front of the feet there, towards the toes. Not really anything on the bottom of the feet. Maybe a little bit of treading, but not much. Yeah, and then the back of the heels too. I forgot to mention that. Really great detailing. I do wish, if it's accurate, there should be some paint on the back here. But the rest of it, man, especially the patterning, where all those lines are, and the metallic paint, all that is extremely clean. Articulation wise, you know, it's pretty standard with the newer articulation from Marvel Legends. We have a ball peg, dumbbell joint, I should say. At the head, that's as far up as it wants to go. It could be better down, but it's not too bad. Side to side, and we do get a hinge, you know, going side to side there. Arms go all the way around. They go in and out. I don't believe there's butterfly joints, but we do have upper arm swivel. These don't feel, I mean, they move a little bit, but they don't feel that gummy to me. Double jointed elbows. Swivel at the wrist as well as a hinge at the wrist. This is for all sets of hands. Ball jointed waist. It goes all the way around, so we can go back like that. Forward's actually pretty decent, side to side, and a nice rotation. That's as far out as the legs want to kick forward. They really don't want to kick back at all. There is the splits. It's not perfect, but still good. Upper thigh swivel is a little bit tight on both sides. Double jointed knees, working really well. And we do have a bit of like a ratchet joint right there. These ankles are pretty stiff, so sometimes making her stand naturally in like neutral poses is not the easiest because of how these ankles work. Same thing with like going up and down there a little bit on ratchets too. I wish it was just more of a smooth motion, but you can see you saw that range of motion I was showing off. So to measure out the figure, we're looking at pretty close to 15.5 to 16 centimeters. That's gonna make this pretty close to 6.25 to almost 6.5 inches tall. Here are some other MCU Black Panther figures in my collection to give you a size comparison. Don't mind super white TF Knight here. The lights just making me look pretty bright. Anyway, we have the 2018 Black Panther being a little bit taller than her. M'Baku, the Target exclusive version, which is going to be the same as the Build-A-Figure, is going to tower over all of them. Not by much, but still a pretty considerable amount. These two are pretty close in scale with each other. I think the 2019 Shuri just looks a little bit taller because of her hair, but they scale pretty well. And then Killmonger is going to be a little bit taller than the Black Panther in the middle. Overall, I do dig this figure. I think they did a really great job with the overall sculpt, especially with the detailing and patterning. It's really great on this figure. And the silver and gold metallic paints are really sick on here. There's a little bit of mismatched paint in some areas, but it's really not that noticeable. You gotta look really hard on my particular figure. I did see some concept art where I believe there's supposed to be some gold and silver towards the center of her back. So, you know, it's not as much gold and silver that I thought that they were supposed to be here, but if they went a little bit of the extra mile and actually painted her back a little bit, I think that would have made this a little bit more worthwhile. The biggest thing is two things. One, this figure is a little bit hard to stand because her feet are kind of small and they're on ratchet joints, so it's not the smoothest experience to try to get her into standing poses and all that. And the biggest thing with me is that this is a $25 figure and only comes with an extra pair of hands. I do wish that they delayed this figure a little bit, after the movie came out, and then given us a figure that had, the unmasked Shuri head and maybe the Panther gauntlets. I don't really know exactly what they're supposed to be called, but that, a little bit extra accessories would have gone a long way with this $25 figure. I don't think it's a big ripoff though. I do think you should wait a little bit for a sale, maybe like 22 to 25 bucks. I got mine from Amazon. The packaging was absolutely destroyed. I forgot to mention that. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there, and I'll see you guys later.